Anything to do with carbon emission reduction or modification,
and
or anything to do with global warming?
Well, I'm sure the past and present assembly members would love to be able to tax you further to stop global warming. I'm not concerned about the sky falling in on us or Chicken Little running around. I believe that you need those resources for your families, your food, your bills, and that God will give you guidance and enlightenment to do what you can, where you can, while you can. I believe our mutual history, common public interest, and cultural state heritage is important. And the first 8 words of Alaska's Constitution is, "We the people of Alaska grateful to God." So I'm grateful. Every day is a holiday, and we should do what we can to improve the environment. But I'm not for empowering government under the guise of economic development or global warming to get into your pockets and your purses and your banking accounts.
Okay, Mark, you have to
And
wrap up,
that's
please.
the future. Thank you, of you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Luke Hopkins.
Well, I have to say that as far as carbon sequestration and greenhouse gases, that's not what I'm reaching for in a resolution that I have coming before the Assembly to accept a grant that wants to look at the information that shares scientific information that the state of Alaska, through its 7 panels that I've listened to, has been saying that are concerned for the Alaskan environment, Alaskan conditions, and the economy in Alaska. But how does that translate into policies that communities should look at? That's what my question is. So I think that we need to look at energy efficiency, considering natural gas, and reducing the PM 2.5 requirements that are going to be approaching this borough in about 2010 are actions that we should be considering at the local level, and I think that's what my concern is, and not with the measurements of greenhouse gases and carbon sequestration right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I'm going to ask as a moderator a little qualification to your answer, if you need a little extra time. How much is the federal grant for, and how is it to be spent? What's the proposed way to be spent?
The NOAA grant, if it's accepted by the mayor, it requires a $1,200 per year expense. The first year is waived while we develop or we look at a plan. It has no content about what the outcome is. It's just to be looked at. And now it also provides services from an agency that received the grant from NOAA to develop local plans to see if that's the way local governments can act concerning impacts and adaptive actions in their community. So,
riverfront prime property. Within the first to the second year, they could not pay their taxes. The sitting assembly members, and you were included, Mr. Satley,
yes,
wrote a check on my checkbook to pay their taxes. And every checkbook in this audience, I was furious. Now, you've got an ordinance, Ms. Therrien, to totally forgive all taxes and let them have that fantastic property for free. And I want to know why, because that's my property. That property belongs to the taxpayers. The money coming in makes a difference in what I pay in property tax. And you can't give every nonprofit, and unless you plan on giving every nonprofit a waiver not to pay any taxes. And from the rest of you, I want a simple yes and no. If you sat on the assembly when that comes up for a vote, would you vote to forgive it and start giving away our prime property in this city so we don't have money coming into the tax rolls? But I'd like to know why you think it's right, Ms. Therrien.
Okay, we're going to start with Mark Ames this time.
I cannot support Valerie Therrien, Guy Satley, or Luke Hopkins.
Mary,
And,
that's got to stop.
Thank you.
We're going to go to Luke Hopkins, please.
yeah, to the question, At this point, I'm not anticipating voting in support of that.
Billy Blanchard?
I would not vote in support of it.
Wolfgang Falk? No. Tammy Wilson?
No, with a brief explanation, just so people know, there's charitable exemptions that are done by the state now, and if they don't qualify for that, then the answer should always be no.
Thank you. Dave Miles?
No special privileges.
Guy Satley?
It's $11,000, no.
And Valerie Therrien?
I introduced the ordinance at their request. They went through the process that Bonnie Williams amended our borough ordinances for how individuals and nonprofits get a tax exemption. It needs to be brought before the Borough Assembly on whether or not they should be granted it. In the past, several of the other nonprofits did not have to go through a rigorous step-by-step analysis of why they had a property tax exemption. This is the first one to come before us, and I will be supporting it because I do think that equity requires that when we provide soccer fields, baseball fields, running tracks, parks and rec, cheap ice, all that for our local communities, that supporting an arts association that provides economic resources to our community and provides for education to our community, it deserves to have a look under that ordinance. It may not pass, it probably won't, but I think that we need the opportunity to look at it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to move into the last round of closing comments. You have 90 seconds, and we're going to start with